There is a moment, it's never dramatic, never overly cinematic, but it's when you realize that the monsters in your head aren't actually running the show. They're loud, they're convincing, absolutely, but they're not in charge, not unless you hand them the keys. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Flavored Word podcast. I'm Shauna Gabriel. So last week, episode 10, it was the origin story about where the monsters came from, the quiet ways they learned to speak for me. But today's a little different. Today is about what happens when you stop letting them narrate your life, when I started choosing my own voice, even when it was shaking, even if it felt unfamiliar, uh, like learning a new language after years of self doubt. This isn't a victory speech, it's reclamation, a beginning, a reminder that the monsters don't get the final say, not anymore. For those who are new here, a little background about the monsters. It's a metaphor, obviously, but a painfully accurate one. Some, of course, are helpful, the ones that push us forward when we need it the most, the little engine that could voices. But many of us, most of us, also have the other kind, the ones that break us down, the ones that reinforce every insecurity we've ever collected, the you're not enough, you're falling behind, the everyone sees what's wrong with you voices. Those are the ones that I call my monsters. And I listened to them for far, far too long. So, a little background. I'm a writer turned editor turned better writer, blogger, now podcaster. I spent decades as a freelance journalist. And during that time, I wrote a book. Actually, I wrote a few books, but only one ever made it out into the world. And here's why. It isn't because the content isn't good. I know a lot of people think their creations are brilliant when when they're not, but I'm a damn good writer. And well, what happened was this: I rushed to publish my first book and accidentally uploaded the unedited manuscript. The backlash, it was brutal. Comments about spelling and grammar, comments about how the book wasn't worth anyone's time. And I focused on those comments like they were gospel. I fixed the file, but the damage, at least in my mind, it was done and I was crushed. But here's the part I ignored. The book also had success, real success. It hit the top 5 on Amazon's bestseller list for women's fiction. It was chosen by my city's library for their book club read. It was praised by book clubs across the country. But did I listen? No, I listened to the monsters and I shut down. I was invited to speak at a fairly large book club one evening, and the organizer she was thrilled to have me, and I didn't show up. I got multiple texts asking me if I was okay, if I was running late, where was I, was it bad traffic? I didn't even respond to the texts, not to one single one. I just disappeared. I was so ashamed of the way that I looked and so convinced that I wasn't worthy of being seen that I couldn't imagine standing in front of a room of people. So I didn't. Years later, I ran into someone from that book club and she told me that the woman who invited me, the one who championed my book in the first place, that she had passed away. And I felt sick. I never apologized. I never explained to her what happened. I just vanished and sank deeper into the rabbit hole I dug for myself. That's what the monsters do. They don't just steal your confidence. They steal your opportunities, your connections, your moments. Last year, I finally decided to face some of this head on, and I pulled the old file from Amazon, uploaded a fully edited version with a new cover, and finished writing the sequel. The old comments are still there. They'll always be there, but I'm done letting them dictate my worth. Another moment of reclamation happened years earlier, though I didn't really recognize it at the time. I went to dinner with a friend at a place that was decidedly not bird food friendly. So I ordered a burger, a real burger, mushrooms, onions, the whole thing. And even though my mind was more focused on the calories and conversation, I ate it. And the next morning, when I stepped on the scale, nothing catastrophic happened. It was a slap in the face moment, a good slap in the face moment, kind of a crack in the armor of the monsters, if you will. I remember thinking that, oh gosh, food can be joyful. It doesn't always have to be a punishment. Around that same time, I started noticing how women behave when they think they're in the way in a grocery store, in tight aisles, in when they're shopping. Instead of saying, excuse me, they just say, oh, I'm sorry. They apologize for existing, for taking up space. I don't do that anymore. I don't apologize for standing where I'm standing. I'm not in anyone's way. I'm in my space and I'm allowed. I've also started saying thank you when someone compliments me. No dissecting, no performing surgery on kindness. The hardest part of reclamation though is harder than the food, harder than the scale. It's learning to trust other people. Letting someone else's truth about me be louder than my own distillation. Think about how many times you've thought the worst about yourself and someone else, a partner, a friend, a parent maybe, they say the exact opposite. They can't understand why you don't see what they see. They brush it off with oh, stop it, or oh, that's not true. But when you're listening to your monsters, you don't know it's not true. You can't. So while I can't give you the secret to a perfectly confident life, I can give you a few things that have helped me. Number one, don't listen to the one critic in the room when you have 99 supporters. It's hard, but do it anyway. Number two, say thank you. Stop dissecting the compliments. Take a breath and accept them. Number three, acknowledge your monsters. Sometimes naming them is the first step in disarming them. So I'm not here to tell you the monsters disappear. They don't. Mine still show up, still whisper, still try to take the mic. But here's the difference now. I don't hand it to them, not automatically, not without a fight. Reclamation isn't about silencing the monsters. It's about refusing to let them narrate your story. It's about choosing your voice, even when it trembles. It's about trusting the truth, even when your brain disagrees. Remembering that you are allowed to take up space in your own life. The monsters don't get the final say. You do. And so do I. So thanks for listening. Tune in next Wednesday for a candid discussion on the chaos and comedy that followed my writing career over the years, and a few tips for all of you aspiring authors out there. Some of the things that I wish I'd known earlier in the game. Be sure to subscribe so you get content before everybody else. And remember, this isn't a scrapbook, it's unfiltered talk. Have a good rest of your week.